Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today we are doing something a little bit different than usual. If you're anything like me, then you've just wrapped up the final quest of the Chalk Prince event and couldn't help but feel a little bit underwhelmed by the lack of narrative or fleshing out of Albedo's backstory. You can argue that his story quest, like everyone else, is comprised of multiple acts and will continue later in the game, but considering how many story quests we have queued up already, it could be months or even years before MiHoYo circles back to Albedo, which would be disappointing because his lore seems to have more depth and mystery than most characters, and these first 2 weeks of Dragonspine didn't give us much to go off of. We did, however, get 2 small yet very intriguing peeks through Albedo's facade as a lax yet studious alchemist in the form of private monologues, both towards the end of his story quest as well as the final act of the event narrative. Just what did he mean by losing control and destroying Mondstadt, and what is his connection with the Dragon Durin? Well, today I hope to provide you with some answers. Thanks to the influence of my Twitch chat, I dove as deep as I could into Genshin's lore and believe that there is a cohesive and somewhat tragic backstory to the Chalk Prince himself. Even deeper, Albedos Origins could be rooted to why much of Teyvat is currently laid in ruins, infested by monsters. But without further ado, let's finally jump into things, starting with what we already pretty much know for fact. First is that Albedo is not human, or at least he was created through alchemy. You can technically deduce this from current in-game content, specifically personal stories you unlock through leveling up his friendship. Story 3 states Albedo has no memory of any blood relations. From birth, he was already adventuring deep within domains with his master. Then Story 5 states that not only does alchemy to create life exist, but quote-unquote chalk was made to make primordial or the first man. Albedo also believes that his life stemmed from his master, Rhindaughter. And speaking of his master, we also know through Story 4 that she disappeared shortly after discovering an artifact called the Heart of Nibirius. While there's no information on this artifact in Genshin lore, the name Nibirius does stem from real-world mythology as a demon who took the form of a 3-headed dog. Now, as to why Rhindaughter disappeared, it's still unknown. Perhaps she knew an evil artifact with such a vile aura would consume and corrupt her or anyone who came across it, so she might have sealed herself off with it for the safety of others. Either way, we know for a fact that she left her apprentice Albedo with just one final task: to present her with the truth and meaning of this world. But Albedo, from what we can tell, doesn't seem too interested in that. It's likely that he knows such an impossible fetch quest was meant to keep him from searching for his master for one reason or another. Based off the in-game story, Albedo seems keen to learn more about life through alchemy and potentially Rhindaughter's methods for creating life through chalk. It's safe to assume through his bio stories that Albedos Master meant the world to him, so whether it be through gaining knowledge from otherworldly beings like Paimon and the MC, or learning to reincarnate her life essence with alchemy, the Chalk Prince has sent himself on a desperate and eternal quest to reunite with her by any means necessary. This could explain why he seems so dissociated when it comes to trivial conversation. There's nothing on his mind but the pursuit of knowledge, which is both a fulfillment of Rhindaughter's final request as well as his own desires. It could also explain his foreboding monologue from earlier. He's well aware of the dangers of tampering with chalk alchemy, but knows he can't stop himself from pursuing it anyway. Now, this is of course my own deduction, so let's get back to something a little bit more concrete. Albedo and Rhindaughter's field of alchemy comes from the lost region of Kenria, which already has a decent amount of lore surrounding it. While a once prosperous nation, Kenria became the breeding ground of all monsters we see in Teyvat, as an alchemist named Gold was intent on learning its alchemy techniques but was refused. Out of anger and spite, Gold turned to the Abyss, where he gained power to turn the people of Kenria into shadow monsters and wreak havoc across Teyvat. This incited the war mentioned in Venti's story quest, and could also mean that Hilichurls are corrupted humans, but that's a different video altogether. The lore also states that Gold corrupted Durin, the dragon whose remains lie in Dragonspine, whose life energy Albedo seemed very interested in, and the reason for that is simple. Durin was created by Rhindaughter. He and Albedo are technically basically brothers. This is confirmed by Albedo's last piece of monologue in the final event quest. He is cut from the same cloth as the dragon that was corrupted and once nearly wiped out an entire continent. He knows that if he is capable of being corrupted in the same way, his existence is a threat to the entire world, hence the cryptic message I've already circled back to before. Now, I'm not saying he'll turn into a dragon or anything, but his knowledge could still be a powerful tool for the Abyss Order. Should they take control of him, he could use his knowledge of creating life for evil, making more shadow monsters, and finishing the job that Gold had started. Albedo's thirst for knowledge is a tragic one. If he hopes to find or reincarnate his master, he may fuck up and unleash the same power that created the shadow monsters. But if he can't find answers about Kenria's ancient alchemy, he won't be able to stop himself from being corrupted like his brother. In the story, he took life energy from the sword festering desire so that he can study his own biological makeup and potentially discover a way to stop himself from becoming a weapon of mass destruction. It's likely that he knows Paimon and the MC are not from this world, or at least not like the rest of Teyvat's inhabitants, much like himself. Through his studies, Albedo is well aware of the events of Kenria, which could explain his fascination with hilichurls, but even further, he most likely knows about Gold's exploits with alchemy. Gold colluded with the Abyss Order to learn dark secrets and alchemy techniques, and who looks to be the leader of the Abyss Order? Our sibling. It's not just possible, but likely that Albedo believes we have the same power as our twin, which explains his uneasiness about meeting us. He knows it's in his DNA to become a corrupted war machine and that we have the ability to cause it. But if he knows who our twin is, then why wouldn't he tell us? Well, I actually don't know. There's only so much lore right now to speculate from, but I'm sure we'll see more developments in this plot thread moving forward. I am confident that Albedo has a significant part to play later on in the main questline, and I can't wait to see how it pans out. But what do you guys think of this theory? Did I hit the nail on the head or end up spiraling into insanity? Is there any information you have that I may have glossed over or missed entirely? Let me know in the comments. But that's all I've got for now. If you want to see more theory videos like this one, and trust me, I've got some theories, then don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Also consider checking out my stream on Twitch. I'm live every morning at 9:30 a.m. PST. The support would be much appreciated. I'll throw the link in the description. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the content you saw today. My name, of course, has been Spinecar. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, morning, night, evening, afternoon, whatever, and I'll see you guys next time.